George Frederic Handel is my favorite classical composer of all time. His music to me is so euphoric and so entrancing that when you listen to it, you are really carried off into another world and into another dimension. It puts you at ease, and just one look at his chart and you will see the brilliance. You will see the creativity. You will see the amazing talents that he had. Oh my God, the man has been dead for for about 250 years. And his music is still played. His music is still popular. It's, when you listen to it for the 5 millionth time, it's still like you're listening to it for the first time. It's so beautiful. And I just really wanted to do his chart because when you see it, like I said, you see the talent, you see the brilliance, you see that he was able to go into the other realm and pull from that deep wellspring of creativity that he had within him. And that's what made him so popular and so successful that, kings and queens would, get him to write for their coronations, and, hotels, because that's what they did back in the day. Like, they didn't go on tours like artists do today, like hotels, or basically just hotels would hire a composer to stay there, like a residency. But, he made some of the most beautiful music of all time, and I just wanted to do his chart for you guys. For anyone who likes classical music and knows astrology, when you see his chart, you'll see the brilliance. So, I'm going to go through the planets in his chart. Give me a second. Alright, this man had an Aquarius ascendant. Venus in the first house conjunct his ascendant, okay? Mercury in Aquarius conjunct his ascendant in the first house. Neptune in Pisces in the first house. Sun and Moon in Pisces in the first house. Uranus and Taurus in the second house. Pluto and Cancer in the sixth house. Saturn and Virgo in the seventh house. Jupiter in Libra in his eighth house. And Mars in Sagittarius in the ninth house. Let's get back to this ascendant, people. Okay, so that's Venus in Aquarius conjunct his ascendant. That's Mercury in Aquarius conjunct his ascendant. That's Neptune in Pisces in the first house. Sun and Moon in Pisces in the first house. Can we say this man was not from this world? Can we say this man was from another? Oh my God. Like I said, when you see his chart, you see the brilliance. Like, first of all, to have the Aquarius ascendant, so innovative, so original, and then to have that backed up by that Sun and Moon conjunct in Pisces, all in the first house. That's a stellium in the first house. Oh my God, can we say this man was definitely connected to the other dimensions? It's just so brilliant when you look at his chart, like I'm gushing right now. He was so sensitive to the energies of the world, especially the creative energies, with that Venus sitting right there, conjuncting his ascendant. On a personal level, with that Venus in the first house, conjunct his ascendant, I'm pretty sure he was so charming, well liked by everyone, had a great taste. He had taste. He had great taste. Also a self-love, a bit full of himself, stubborn, also very compassionate human being. How's Venus conjunct the ascendant? In the sign of Aquarius, by the way. I'm pretty sure he was very outspoken and voiced his opinion because that's what the Aquarius ascendant does. They don't hold back. With his Mercury conjunct Venus in the first house, not only was he a creative genius, but also a intellectual. There's, oh my God, his chart is just so amazing. Like, I'm really speechless, and I can, you just have to look at it like you're looking at a fine piece of art. that you're just in awe. Like, all I want to do is really just flash his natal chart up with his music and not even talk, because you see the genius and you see the brilliance. Like I said, the man was an intellectual. He knew how to express himself. He knew how to express his creative ideas in a verbal manner. He knew how to explain what he wanted to see, what he wanted to hear to his orchestra. With his moon trining his Pluto, which is one of many of his brilliant aspects, shows that, he really did care for people for who they were, not for what they outwardly projected. He had these deep emotions because the moon in Pisces already comes with these deep emotions, but to add a trine from Pluto shows that they were even deeper. And that's another one of the reasons why I felt he really created from his heart. He really did create from his heart. And yeah, he kept his emotions under control. He probably, I'm pretty sure he did express all of the emotions he felt through his music. And that's why it's so pure and it's so genuine and it's so beautiful. Yeah. Another thing that stands out to me in this chart that a friend helped me with is that he had his north node. Your north node is your obsession in this life. It's what you choose. It's what you seek in this life. And he had in his fifth house. The fifth house is the house of Leo. It's the house of creativity, you know, pleasurable things, fun things. And he was living out his passion, creating music. He also had Pluto in his fifth house. So a very strong, impulsive, creative need. I say wherever Pluto is, it's like you struggle to gain control over that house. So his Pluto in the fifth house, he had a powerful attitude towards love. His attitude towards play and entertainment and things was, very intense. Handel also had Neptune in his, first house in its own sign of Pisces again. He was able to channel inspiration from higher spiritual realms for his creative works. Another interesting aspect in Handel's chart was his Mars was in conjunct his Uranus, and that shows that he basically pushed himself really hard to prove that he's talented. Either he wanted to prove something to himself or to other people, and it's like, dude, your music was so great. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You are a rock star. But it's a problem that, something that he dealt with. He admired people who seemed successful, and he wanted to emulate them. And because he does have this inconjunct between his Mars and Uranus, he he created a large body of work, and I think that's because he felt like he had to do more than others. He had to basically prove stuff to people that he was the best, he was the greatest. I think he's better than Beethoven myself, but yeah, he did more than what was really expected of him. And to sort of add insult to injury, with that Mars in conjunct Uranus, he also had his Pluto in conjunct his Mercury, which just basically gave him an overwhelming sense of responsibility. He probably felt like as a kid growing up, he was always assigned tasks that no one else wanted to do, and that, if he didn't do it, then nobody else would. And like I said, with his work, I'm sure he got commissioned for so many pieces. He probably just overworked himself, poor guy, but when he did work, he worked. He enjoyed his work, what he did with that North Node and Pluto in the fifth house, and Venus, Mercury, Sun, Moon, all those conjunctions in his first house, and all that powerful creative energy in his first house. The man was absolutely brilliant. So that is my short video on the man, the genius, Handel. Thank you for listening to me gush and rant about this genius. Enjoy his music for the rest of this video. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.